y'all. So I just woke up a little while ago and I need to eat something first, so let me eat this and I'll be right back, y'all. Alright, I'm back, y'all. So hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get myself together. Okay. Alright, y'all. So, first of all, let me do the intro. Hey, my babies. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Riahjay. And I'm back with another video, my babies. So today is Saturday, my baby, Salvador, and I hope all is well with you all is well with me, and I hope we all are continuing to say about happiness, peace, and love, and I hope we all are continuing to stay determined, motivated, and focused, and I hope we all are continuing to walk in the alignment of stars that Allah has for us. So, in today's video, my babies, you seen that title, you seen that thumbnail, let's get straight into it. So, y'all know recently I did a video telling you all that I was adopted. You know, I think I'm adopted, yada, 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 yada. I'm going to link that video in the description for those of y'all who did not see that video yet. I would recommend you go watch that first and then come back and watch this one so you can just watch it in order and sequence and you can just understand everything and, you know, you can understand what's really going on in Riahjaysreality, reality, okay? So, y'all, this is an update video from that video, okay? So, I have two scenarios for y'all of what I think happened, you know what I mean, to me and how my life came about. Now, let's talk about the first scenario. So, the first scenario I think that happened with me being born, adopted, or whatever the case is, I think that my mom, okay, I think that my mom got pregnant with me, because I do believe I do come from my mom. I do believe this. I believe my mom got pregnant with me, but, you know, because I come from like a very, okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. My family tree has been filled, like my family tree of all my ancestors of the past have been filled with more dark energy than light energy. Now, I'm not saying that there was never no light energy in my family tree, in my family history, in my ancestors. There was initially, but then these dark demonic souls came about and flipped my whole family tree's history upside down, and the darkness took over the light. You understand what I'm saying? And although my ancestors of the light was still working in their soul mission, they were still doing their light work, you know what I mean, they were still being good people, there was more dark ancestors than light. You understand? Which means that my ancestors of the light was outnumbered. My mother was an ancestor of the light. Okay, my mother worked for the light. She worked for God. She believed in Jesus. Because I did grow up in a Christian family, Baptiste, you know, and yeah, that's how I grew up. I converted to Islam 5 years ago, for those of y'all who do not know. So this is just my situation, you know what I mean? But my mom, my family and everything, they were Christians, you know, they were Christians, they still are. And so my mom, she always was a good person with a good heart. I mean, my mom, she used to help people in the community, you know, of Coney Island. She used to play basketball with the little boys in the neighborhood. She used to play basketball with them, because my mom, she was a tomboy. Yeah, my mom, she could have got dolled up. She could have been into makeup and hair and nails and all of that. But my mom, she had a soft heart, but she was very like tough and rough, you know, on the external. You know, she dressed masculine. She acted very masculine. she was a masculine and feminine, okay? But in her heart, you know, whether you're a masculine or feminine female, your heart is always your heart, you know. So my mother's heart was always pure. Her heart was always genuine. She always enjoyed, oh God, I don't want to cry. She was always a good person, you know what I mean? And she always enjoyed helping people. She would play basketball with the little boys in the neighborhood. She would babysit people's children. Where there was a problem in a situation, she always wanted to, you know, step forward and be like that peacemaker, you know, that listening ear, and just, you know what I mean? She just was a helper. She was a light worker. She worked for God, you understand? But remember what I told y'all in the beginning of this video, my mom, she got pregnant with me, right? And she got pregnant by a very successful man. And keep in mind, this is the first scenario. She got pregnant by a very successful man, and she knew, because my family tree history was overpowered by darkness, she knew that she had to play her cards right when it came to me being born, you know. You know, because when your family is operating from the dark side, there's a lot of lying, cheating, and deceiving. You understand? There's a lot of people that only care about their own selfish desires, and if they even see or spot or hear or notice or peep anything that you're working for the light, they're gonna attack you. You understand? They want to attack you and they want to bring you down. So I believe my grandma, my aunt, my uncle, I believe most of the people that was around my mother at the time that she was growing up and she was alive and stuff, I believe that they were against my mother. Okay, because when she got pregnant with my sister is the oldest. When she got pregnant with my sister's father was albino. My sister's father was albino. When my grandmother found out that my mother was pregnant with my sister, my mother's firstborn child, they ran my sister's father away. Because my grandmother, she is of Puerto Rican and black descent. You understand? And she just didn't agree with her child dating an albino man. And I think he was broke too, but because, you know, my ancestors, my grandma, and, you know, my grandma's children except my mother, like I said, if you're working out of your dark side, then you are solely about your own selfish desires. You solely work for the demonic side. You are solely about lying, cheating, and stealing. You understand? So not only was my sister's father albino, but he was also, I believe he was also broke. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a lose-lose situation for him. You understand what I'm saying? So they ran him away. Okay, so that left my mother being a single mother. I believe her mother did help her, you know, but then my grandma passed away. So, you know, that left my mother being a single mother. Now, 9 years later, she got pregnant with me. You understand? And she got pregnant with me with this wealthy man. And she had to figure out a way how to play her cards right, because she knew her family was evil. She knew they were sick in the mind. You understand? So she said, okay. I believe she just tried to plan. Her whole thing was about protecting me, you know, and protecting herself. So I believe she made a deal with this wealthy man, her child's father. She made like this kind of bind with him, and she was like, listen, my family cannot know that you're wealthy, because they are going to try to break us up. They're going to try to kill me for your money. And, you know, that's going to leave now, not only my first child doesn't have a father, but now my second child is not going to have a father, because they're not gonna let you. Listen, if I'm long gone, this is my mother speaking. If I'm long gone, they're gonna get custody of my child, and they're gonna raise her the way they want her to be raised. They're not gonna want her to be raised with you. Number one, because if they find out that you're wealthy, they just gonna deal with you and deal with my child for the sake of money. You understand? Because they're operating in their dark side. So I believe this is what she tried to do, y'all. She made a plan with my father, and she said, listen, you and I both know that you are Mariah's father, but we're gonna have to work something out, you know. I don't think the best idea for this situation would be for you to raise Mariah, or for you to have anything really to do with Mariah. I mean, I still want you to be in her life, but I don't want you to play that actual father role, you know, because I don't want nothing to happen to Mariah. Because if they find out that you're her father and that you are wealthy, they're gonna want to off my daughter for the sake of money. You understand? And so she started dating this other guy, and she basically used him to step in line as my father, but that wasn't really my father. You understand? So I think at this time, my grandmother and, you know, my aunt, my uncle, and everybody had found out who my father really was. So, and I think my mother put them in on her plan. Like, listen, I don't want nothing to happen to my children. You know, if something happens to me, I just want y'all to take care of my children. And as I said, my mother works for the light. You understand? She was always a good person with a good heart. But she was dealing with family members that was of the dark. So she knew, regardless of what she said or however she tried to plan this whole situation out for my life, she knew that people was going to try to take her out, regardless of which way she tried to play it. So she let her mother and her siblings in on her plan. She said, listen, yes, this is Mariah's biological father, but I don't know if she said like, oh, look, he don't want nothing to do with her, or this is my plan. Listen, I want y'all to raise her, whatever the case, you know what I mean? Because she just was trying to make the best plan for me. You understand? She didn't want nothing to happen to me, because she knew what would possibly happen to her. So she put them in on the plan that, listen, I want y'all to raise Mariah, yada, yada, yada. But keep in mind, because she now has spilled the beans to her family, now they know that Mariah's father is a wealthy man. So they are going to try to plot and scheme and do every little thing all for money. You understand? So I think I'm gonna have to change the title of this video too. Because when I first made the title of this, when I first thought about this video, and I'm now bringing it to fruition, y'all, I was actually going to only tell you all about, you know, I know who my real father is. My father is not the father that's on my birth certificate. My father is not the father that, you know, I lived my whole life thinking that this is my father. My father is actually my papa that raised me as their goddaughter. He's been in my life this whole time, but I never knew that this was my actual father. And keep in mind, all of this is really like confusing, but I hope you all can keep up. And also keep in mind that this is just the first scenario that I have. I'm gonna tell you the second scenario. So because my mother's family knew that she was sleeping with a wealthy man, they now started to work against her. Her own family, yes, my grandma and her siblings. Well, I think my grandma had died at this point, my mother's mother, but who did my grandma leave behind except my mom? my mom's siblings. And my mom's siblings is of the dark. My mom was of the light. So, you know, because my family has grown up in poverty, very poor, living off of government assistance, everything has always been about money. Okay, and yes, we do, money is very important in our lives, and we need money to eat, to live, to drink, to, you know, present ourselves in like proper manners, you know what I mean, and take care of our children. Yes, that is true. But when you are wanting money in your life only for the sake of your selfish desires and doing ugly, dark, demonic things for money, baby, that makes you a greedy person. That makes you a selfish person. That makes you a sick person of the mind. So my mother's siblings now decided to plot on my mother. And they said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have to take her out, my mother. So I believe my mother did get sick with breast cancer. Yes, I believe that. I believe that. Because how else can you cover a murder? That y'all murdered your sibling. How else can you cover a murder of y'all murdering your siblings? Okay? So I believe my mother did get sick in her early 30s, mid 30s with breast cancer. I believe that. But breast cancer did not take my mother out. No, it wasn't breast cancer that took my mother out. Y'all killed my mother. Her siblings, her own fucking blood. The aunt that raised me and the uncle that raised me. Even my sister, her firstborn, had something to do with this. Now, because they are of the dark, I believe these people were dibbling and dabbling in black magic, trying to cause my mother's death. But because my mother was of the light, my mother always was praying to God, staying positive, staying hopeful that this is not her time to go. But these people got desperate because they wanted money for my mother's death. They wanted some type of life insurance. They wanted some type of inheritance. You understand? So I believe it was food poisoning that killed my mother. I believe it was some type of drink poisoning. Or I believe that y'all drowned my mother in the bathtub when she got sick. And she had to be on bed rest. Because I remember being young, sleeping with my mother in her room, in her hospital bed. And I remember my mother going bald because the breast cancer was getting stronger. And I remember my mother getting weaker. But my mother was not supposed to pass away from the breast cancer. Y'all sped up her death with y'all demonic shit. Now I believe it was either not food cancer. I believe my foot is sleeping. God. I believe it was food poisoning, drink poisoning. Y'all either drowned my mother when my mother was in the bath. When my mother started getting sick, y'all, the only people she had to lean on her was her siblings. She didn't have nobody else. Okay? Remember, her first baby daddy was not around. The family ran him away. My father, they ran him away too. They didn't want my mother to be dealing with no rich man because they didn't have a rich man. They wanted my mother's life. They wanted my mother's spot to be dealing with a rich man. But that's not your destiny. That's not your destiny to be with a successful, wealthy man. God has everybody's destinies already planned out to a T. To a T. God already knows who y'all are and what's the life he has for y'all. But because y'all are greedy and everything is always about money, y'all off my mother. And I believe it's after the 4 reasons, it's after the 4 things they did, and they murdered my mother. Y'all committed homicide, y'all killed my mother. Y'all did. Y'all did, all for money. And years later, after my mother was gone, did your life change? Did your life change after y'all got that money?
Your life did not even change. It probably changed for a month. A little time period, it changed because y'all came up on a little bit of money. But 28 years later, well, 22 years later, how do y'all really feel about yourselves? How do y'all really feel when y'all killed my mother for that money and y'all had a little come up for a month or so? What happened next? Y'all went back to y'all sad ass lives, y'all impoverished lives, y'all demonic ass lives, your low vibrational life, your life that ain't shit because of the shit you did, and y'all tried to cover that shit up every day. I know that shit is eating you alive. It's eating you alive that y'all fucking plotted on your own sibling and took her out for money just for you to go back to your sad ass life. How does it feel? I want to know, how does it feel? Wookie, what are you looking at, Wookie? So I believe that it was either, this is what killed my mother. It wasn't the breast cancer. The breast cancer was not supposed to take my mother out. Yes, my mother got really, really sick. Yes, and she, you know, she was not progressing, but that's because they was doing black magics on my mother. They was doing all type of spells on my mother, health spells, beauty spells, money spells, all type of hair loss spells. And they was doing every fucking spell in the book, love spells, so that she won't be with the love of her life. She loved my father. You understand? She loved my father, and yes, she was a side chick. She was, because he was married. He was married. I remember my godmother Marilyn. That was my father's wife, and she passed away. And as soon as she passed away, they knew that was God's blessing for my mother. She naturally passed away, my father's wife. So God, that was God's plan. God now wanted my mother to be with the love of her life, but her family, my family, man, they're so fucking sick. And everything always bottles down to money. That they murdered my mother because, number one, they didn't want her to be with the love of her life. They didn't want her to be with a successful, wealthy man. They didn't want her to have true love. They didn't want her to have that beautiful family unit, you understand, of true love. So they killed my mother, y'all. That cancer was not supposed to take my mother out. I've gone in my life, right? Because I've lived my whole life thinking my mother died from breast cancer, right? So because since that's my mother and I grew up hearing those stories and believing them, when I reached the age of like 21, I started telling my doctors, like, listen, my mom died from breast cancer at 35, and all my doctors that I've ever had are so shocked when I tell them this, because they're like, whoa, at 35? That's so young. I don't know, that doesn't sound right. Every single doctor I've told this to, this is what they've told me. So this is when I started to become more curious about my mother's life and my mother's death, on how my mother really died. You understand? I believed that my mother was going to pull through with the cancer. She was going to survive. But the family didn't want that. They wanted her money. They wanted her money, her life, her destiny. They wanted anything that she was destined to be or have. They wanted it. They even wanted me, because they knew that I'm the child that came from that love affair, that wealthy man, and my mother's love. So they took my mother out, and I believe my mother passed away from either food poisoning, drink poisoning, or when my mother was sick and she needed help, taking care of herself and taking care of her children, all she had to depend on was her siblings, which is my aunt and uncle, my fake ass aunt and uncle. Murderers. You're murderers. You're murderers. And my sick ass fucking sister. You're sick. Y'all are fucking sick. Sick as fuck. Okay? And so it's either, why can't I get past this point? So it is either food poisoning, drink poisoning. They either pushed her down in the bathtub and made her bang her head in the bathtub, and that's what ultimately killed her, or they drowned her. She was in a bath and they drowned her under the water. It's either the 4 reasons of how my mother died. I want justice for my mother. My mother wants justice for herself. And we're gonna get it. Because see, what y'all did was never right. You're not supposed to live a life of murdering someone for some damn money. Thinking that you're gonna change your whole destiny because you just offed a divine feminine. You offed a divine feminine in hopes of taking her spot and having a come up and living the life that was destined for her. And yeah, raising her child because you think you're going to be blessed in some way because of this. But no, all you are going to get is the karma that y'all are owed. The way your life is and the way it has turned out for y'all. That's your karma, baby. Because of what y'all did to my mother. It's karma. You will never live a life of success. You will never live a life of true love. You will never live a life of true peace, true happiness. You living a life of guilt. You got a guilty conscience right on your fucking back because you know what you did. And that shit is eating you alive every damn day of your life. That's why y'all lives have never went according to plan. That's why you, LNR, that's why you're miserable. You're so miserable. You wanted somebody else's life that you couldn't even take care of your own kid because you was always busy chasing after a man and doing drugs and scheming. Always worrying about money. That's why your life is where it is today. You was never able to pay your karmic debt. You was never able to be truthful and be honest. That's why you live the life you live. And for you, AR, and for you, that's why you have no good relationships with your children. Because of the shit you did to your own sister. All about money. That's why you've been in and out of jail your whole life. That's why you have no good relationships with your children. That's why your life has played out the way it has played out. And for you, CNR, that's why your life is miserable AF. Because you always been jealous of me. I'm your younger sister, and you've always been jealous of me. All I've ever did was try to love you and be there for you, even when bitches was beating your ass. I'm your little sister, and I jumped in for you when you was getting your ass beat. Me. I could have just let you get your ass beat right there. But no, I jumped in. Because to me, loyalty is everything. Trust is everything. Respect. Love. But see, none of y'all never really loved me. Y'all all just been plotting on me this whole fucking time. Just waiting. Just waiting for me to grow and come into my natural gifts and wake up. Because y'all knew that I was going to find out the truth. Y'all knew that my angels been with me the whole time. Regardless of what I've gone through in my life. I've always came back, baby. Every setback was just a setback for a bigger come up.
everything I've gone through. Me growing up in poverty, losing my mother, being a fatherless child, getting herpes, HPV, hydrogen depression, PTSD, anxiety, being a single mother, living in the projects, being in domestic violence relationships, almost wanting to off myself. Every struggle, trial, and tribulation in my life, I've just used it for motivation. I've just used it for inspiration. I've just used it to push me and level me up even more. And see, these are the keys of life. This is how to live a beautiful life of happiness, peace, and love. Is that regardless of what you go through, my babies, use it for your fuel. You are you, and that is your power. You have your own voice. That's your power. God blessed you with your own purpose, your own talents, and your own individuality. That is your power to co-create with the universe and build the life and transform your life into what you want it to be and what you've always dreamed of being. You have to use your struggle. But see, they don't tell us this in school. Your family members don't tell you this because they don't want you doing better than them. They don't want, in all actuality, they don't want you leveling up. They don't want you growing. They don't want you to use your natural gifts. They don't want you to get into your spirituality. They don't want you to discover your family secrets. They don't want you to dig up the deep buried bones of your family history, of those generational curses. They don't want you to get in that dirt and start digging in that motherfucker because they know you're going to find the treasure. What is the treasure, ladies and gentlemen? The truth. My whole life, I've been a truth seeker. I've never been fulfilled. Like, I can never, like my whole life, I can never be like 100% fulfilled with the fact of the information that was given to me from the people that raised me. Because I just knew something is missing. The pieces that y'all are giving me of my life, aka this puzzle, this piece is missing. There's information missing. So if y'all are being deceptive, if y'all work for the dark side and y'all are all about lying, cheating, and stealing, deceiving, you know, and all of that, kill, steal, and destroy, then listen, I know there's some deceptiveness in there. Which means if there's deceptiveness, that means there's more truth out there to be found. So regardless of what I've gone through in my own life, I always wanted to figure out the truth behind not only my mother's death, but my family tree, my life, and why I am the way I am. Because I come from that. So I couldn't give up on myself or my angels and ancestors of the light or God. I had to keep digging and keep pushing and keep my 10 toes down and my shoulders straight, my head up and my crown straight and fixed. I had to continue to push and be strong even when the devil was trying to take me down. Even when I had dark demonic entities attached to me at the time that was trying to destroy me, that people have put on me my whole life. These fake ass family members have put these demonic black magic spells on me, my babies. Everything that you have seen of Riah J prior to this new spiritual journey, it wasn't me. It wasn't the real me. It was me operating on a low vibrational energy because of the spells that was put on me. These people, the same thing they did to my mother, they're trying to do to me right now. They've been doing it.
They've been using all kind of spells, memory spells, so I don't remember my life, beauty spells, so I don't see how beautiful I am, shut up spells, so that I'll finally shut up because they can't stand when I talk because they know all I talk is truth. Money spells, which is why I've been trapped in poverty. Every love situation that I've been in have been compromised because they don't want me to find my true love. They don't want me to have love. Everything that they did to my mother, they're trying to do to me. They're trying to take me out, my babies, because I speak the truth. But God and my angels and ancestors of the light have been working with me every day. And when I tell you, they've been building me up, helping me get stronger, helping me gain more courage, helping me to use my voice more. And if I have something to say, then they're encouraging me to say it because they know I speak truth. And all my ancestors and angels of the light want justice for what you dark ass motherfuckers have done to our family tree. My family tree used to be beautiful, vibrating with light. Everybody working for the greatest and good of Allah. But these dark demonic souls were born into my family, and anybody that they see working for the light, shining bright like a diamond, helping people, being a good person, showing their good heart, they try to bring them down. And it wasn't just my mother that they offed. My grandmother too. My grandmother was set up by her own lover. My grandmother, y'all know I have a story time of telling y'all how my grandmother died. She died so young. She was only 50-something years old. My grandmother, God, I miss you, Grandma. I love you so much. My grandma was set up by her own lover, her husband. Her husband started working with her family to set her up and take her out. So her family, you know, those dark demonic souls that were born into my family, set my mother up, my grandmother up, by turning her husband against her. So they used to set my grandmother's husband up with karmic women, you know, and have him cheat on my grandma. And he would do it, you know, he would listen to the lies that you know, her family would put in his ear. Oh, she's cheating on you, she's doing this, she's doing that. My grandmother was a hustler. My grandmother was an OG. My grandmother wasn't cheating on her husband. My grandmother worked in the hospital by day, and by night my grandmother was dealing drugs. My grandmother was an OG. And all she was doing was trying to provide for her family. She had 5 kids. She had 5 kids to take care of. So her working in the hospital wasn't enough. It wasn't enough money, okay? When you got 5 kids, what are you gonna do? And you working in the hospital. Yeah, that's a great job. Yeah, that's a great job. You know, all praise to the healthcare workers of the world. Especially those of y'all that are working for the greatest and highest of Allah. But it wasn't enough money, so my grandma started dealing drugs. But see, your demonic side of your family does not like when you are a good person, when you are a person of integrity, when you are a person of due diligence, when you take care of your responsibilities, when you work for God. Do you think God was happy with my grandma that she was dealing drugs? No. But he, you know, he didn't judge her because he knew she wasn't dealing drugs by night to use for herself. She wasn't. She was dealing drugs and working in the hospital by day to take care of her children. But her husband got swindled by her family. Got swindled. He listened to all the lies that they told him about my grandma. She's cheating on you. That's why she be out late and blah 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 blah. No, she wasn't. The women in my family that are out there, the women in my family, my ancestors and angels of the light, we are loyal and faithful women of God. And not only that, but when we are in love, we are truly in love. We don't go around cheating on the people that we're with. How would that make us look if God blessed you with the love of your life, and then you went ahead and cheated on your spouse when God sent you this blessing? How would that make you look in the eyes of God? That would make you look ungrateful, unappreciative. That would make you look so sad and sorry in the eyes of God. So, my angels and ancestors of the light and me, we are loyal and faithful women. But we've been surrounded by these dark demonic souls in our family that they're so jealous and envious of you that they don't care what they have to do. They will plot, plan, and scheme against you. Anything for your greatest of good and highest and good. They want to tear it down. You get in love, they want to break it up. You find a new job, they want to make you lose your job. You start doing good in your finances, they want to set you up because they want to take your money. You're a good mother, they want to call ACS on you and have your kids taken away. They don't like nothing good. They don't like nothing good. They don't like you. You're a diamond. You're shining too bright for them. They're from the dark. They're like, oh my God, I can't even look at her. She's shining too bright. I hate her. Why did God choose her to be of the light? Why does God choose her to be so damn bright? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to plot, plan, and scheme, and we're going to set that bitch up. We're going to kill, destroy, we're going to steal, kill, and destroy until that bitch is gone. But see, all of these people are working out of their ego. Their bad ego. All these people are working for the dark side. They have dark entities attached to them that are making them do these things. My babies, if you haven't noticed, there's a spiritual warfare going on. It's literally dark against light. So you need to pick your side. And when you do, you stand in it. Stand in your side. If the light is too bright for you, then get in line in the dark side and stay over there. Stop worrying about what's going on over here in the side of light. Beautiful light. The side of God. The side of the Almighty. The side of the righteous. Get in line. Pick a side and stay there. Stop trying to waddle between worlds, thinking that that's okay. Because when you do that, God already know you fake. God already will never fuck with you. He been disown your ass because of the games you play with people's lives, the games you play with your own life, the risk that you take. So back to my grandma. Her husband listened to the lies that these entities was telling him about my grandma. So he was out there cheating on my grandma. And he got AIDS. He got AIDS. He was out there cheating on my grandma. When my grandma was hustling, my grandmother was working in the hospital by day, and by night my grandma was dealing drugs. All to take care of her family. But he was a little insecure asshole.
A weak-minded motherfucker. So he fell for the plan. And he got AIDS out there messing with them prostitutes and them side bitches. And he came home. And he came home. And he slept with my grandma. And he gave her that shit. And he gave her that shit. And I'm so sorry that happened to you, Grandma. And Mommy, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And he gave her that shit, y'all. And they both died a couple months apart. But see, this is what happens. This is what happens when y'all sit there and y'all let people come between your love. This is what happens when just because you're blood with somebody, you think that you have to be loyal to them. You think that you owe them something. My babies, learn something from this video. There's people in your family that don't like you. They don't care about you. They want to steal your money. They want to kill your kids. They want to kill you. And they think by doing this, they think by doing these things and working for the devil, that they're gonna be able to sit on your throne. This is what they think. They think, oh, we're gonna steal her money, we're gonna destroy her, we're gonna kill her. So when we take her out, I'm gonna sit in her spot. It's gonna be my spot now. I'm gonna take her spot, I'm gonna put on her crown or his crown, and I'm gonna live the life that was destined for her. Yeah, it's gonna be for me now, because she or he is gonna be long gone. But no, do you not realize? Listen to what I said about my own sick ass family and my own family tree. These dark demonic people think by doing this that it's possible to steal somebody's destiny just because they killed you off. Destroyed your life, lied to you, destroyed your life, and killed you off. You can't steal nobody's destiny. It's not possible. It's just not possible. God will never give you his child's destiny because you killed his child off. What? Like, what type of God y'all think we out here praising? God is a vengeful God. He will keep putting you in the same cycles again and again and again until you get it. And see, me, I was born and I was blessed to be here, my babies, on this physical earth, because not only did God know that I would be the one to break generational curses in my life, I mean, you know, in my family history, in my family history's life, and in my life, but my angels and ancestors of the light have been with me this whole time. Every time these people have put these black magic spells on me, regardless of what spells it has been, I've always broke free from them. And my angels and ancestors have helped me break free from these things. And how do you break free from these black magic spells? You have to keep your vibration high, my babies. I am only about happiness, peace, and love. I am only about staying determined, motivated, and focused. I am walking in the alignment of stars that Allah has for us. Say these things. Work out. Drink your water. Have positive thoughts. Hang around positive, uplifted people. Do things that bring you joy and make you happy. Do things that make you feel encouraged. You know, love people. Spread love. Be kind. Be generous to people who deserve it. But just because somebody is your blood, it doesn't mean that you owe them anything. This is now the time where, excuse me, my babies, we have to pick a side. Are you for the light, or are you for the dark? Are you for the light, or are you for the dark? And when you decide that for yourself, you must pick a side. But if you find yourself waddling between worlds, 9 times out of 10, God is not going to accept you in His kingdom, because He likes faithful children. He likes hopeful children. He likes children that do not give up on themselves, and do not give up on Him, and do not give up on your dreams, and do not give up on your goals. And you are out here working for the light, like my mother was, like my grandma was, like I am doing. We just are trying to literally level up, keep ourselves elevated, and help the next person. So with that being said, yes, it's true. I was born into a very dysfunctional, toxic, dark, demonic family. But see, God bringing me into this life, He knew what He was doing, because He always knew that I would be a child of God. He always knew that I would be a child of the righteous, a child of the light. You understand? He always knew that I would wake up from these dark black magic spells. Every spell that was put on me, I broke free from. Every obstacle that was put in my way, I literally moved that shit out my way and kept it pushing. Every trial, tribulation, and struggle that was meant to kill and destroy me, I've conquered it like it was nothing to me. And yes, when I was in those times of the storm, it was very hard for me. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's very hard when you are in the storm. But if you just keep pushing forward, God will show you and bring you to your rainbow. So to move forward to the things that I've been going through recently, it's been a cycle. The things my grandmother went through is the things my grandmother went through, is the things that my mother went through, are the things that I've been going through. And these people have been trying to kill me, my babies, because I am a truth seeker and a truth talker, and I am of God's children, and I work for the light, and I am a righteous being. And you know, when God's children talk like that, you know, I am a child of the light, and I am God's child, and I work for the righteous, and I am a righteous being. We're not being cocky. Don't ever feel like somebody is looking down on you, or that God's children think that we're better than the next, because we don't think that. We're humble. We have integrity. Okay? We have happiness, peace, and love. God, trust me, God will not bless us if we was working out of our ugly egos. Okay? We are who we are because we need to inspire the next person. Y'all need to wake up. Wake up. It is a spiritual war going on. And the devil is trying to keep you on the devil's side. But God is fighting for you every day, because He wants you to realize that nothing good is going to come from you being on the demonic side. Nothing good is going to come from that. You're going to live your whole life being on black magic spells. You're going to live your whole life in poverty. You're going to live your whole life living out of your ugly, bad ego. You're going to live your whole life in karmic cycles. You're going to live your whole life never having true love. You're going to live your whole life even cursing your own children. Because if you are of the dark and you have children, which means you are raising your children a certain way, your children are going to possibly grow up to be of the dark side.
unless they learn for themselves to break free of the chains. And if God sees that they are working really hard, and God is watching you and God is peeping and everything, so then he's going to constantly give you that push. He's going to give you that motivation. And your angels and ancestors of the light are going to be with you too, to make sure that you do not get sucked into the dark side. So everything that I've been giving y'all in my content videos recently about like my love life, it is all true. A karmic lover was sent my way to kill, steal, and destroy me. See, my father, and listen y'all, I don't know if this is my real father or this is my adopted father, but either way, it's my father, right? So my father recently passed away. And those dark demonic souls that I've been speaking about this whole time consciously did not tell me that my father died. This whole thing has been a setup. My father recently died. I don't know how long ago, y'all, but I know it was recently. I don't know if it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. But I do know that he recently passed away to the other side. And you know, I knew it was coming because my father, he was getting really old. My father was like 70 something, 80. He was getting really old, you know, so I knew the time was coming. You know, death is the only thing that's promised, you know. But I didn't know that it would happen the way it did, you know, and I didn't know that my sick ass family would literally plan, plot, and scheme against me, to the point where they wouldn't want to tell me that my father died because they knew that my father left me an inheritance. And the same thing they did to my grandmother and my mother, and I'm pretty sure this has been going on for a very long time. Even my great-great-grandmother, my great-great-great-great-grandmother, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandma. This has been going on for a very long time in my family tree, and nobody has been able to break the chains and get as far in breaking these chains like me. But I promise you, I have not been doing this by myself. God has been with me the whole time, and my angels and ancestors of the light have been guiding me this whole time and loving me and encouraging me and supporting me and pushing me. So my father recently died, and because of the lie that I've had to live of not knowing really who my father was, and you know, just me living a life thinking that, oh, this is my life, la 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 la, I guess my father felt guilty of the way he's had to raise me, you know what I mean? Raising me as his godchild, but really I'm his real child. You know what I mean? And then losing the love of his life because her family was sick as fuck and killed my mother because they didn't want her to be with him. My father was a very wealthy and rich man. But if you was to, you know, just to talk about my dad real quick, if you was to ever look at my dad on the external, my dad looked like a homeless man. And he lived like this strategically because he never wanted people to know his finances. He never wanted people to, because you know what comes when you are successful and you are financially free and you are wealthy. You know what comes with that. A lot of bad energy because people are working on that demonic side, you know, so they want to steal, kill, and destroy. So my father strategically lived a life of looking like he was a homeless man. I swear to God, he used to wear the same outfit every day to and from work, even on the weekends. Yeah, he washed his clothes. He was very clean. He always used to take showers and wash up, brush his teeth, and moisturize his feet. You know what I mean? He used to do these certain little things. And you know, at the time, I used to watch my father because, you know, he raised me as his goddaughter. I never knew that this was my real father. I recently had an epiphany, an awakening, and I realized this out with the help of my angels and the ancestors of the light and God. And I just used to watch my father, and you know, I always knew my father had money because my father, he worked 5 days a week, never took a day off. But he did learn to balance his schedule, you know. On the weekends was his times off, because he knew that if he worked so hard, he would work himself to death, literally. So he only worked on the weekdays. And my father, man, he was such a hard-working man, but he did strategically live his life a certain way, you know, wearing the same outfit every day, being very cheap, being very frugal, living off the bare necessities, you know. My father, I miss you, Daddy. Man, I miss you so much. And I'm sorry that I couldn't see you in your last days. I'm sorry that I had to move away because, you know, I had to get away from those sick people. You know that I had to figure out how to live life like on my own. I wanted my own independence. I became a young mom, you know, so I had to figure life out. I had to do the best that I could do for the sake of me and Woogie, you know, and so I had to leave, you know, but I know that you're so proud of me. When I came to you that day and I had told you that I got accepted for my first apartment, you was so proud of me. You was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I got my own apartment. And you was like, okay. Like, he was very a man of few words, but he would show his expressions on his face, you know. And always knew my father really loved me, you know, because he wouldn't really give nobody else the time of day. But when I wanted to talk to him and just have little conversations about, you know, anything, politics, or about my love life and motherhood, about whatever, like literally things will pop up on the news, because he loved watching the news, but he hated politics. He never voted a day in his life. He any little thing that popped up on the news, and I would ask him like, oh, Daddy, what you think about that? Or, you know, I would give my opinion. That was me trying to get conversation out of him. And, man, he didn't give nobody much conversation but me. And I love you, Daddy, and I appreciate you. And I miss you so much. And it's okay if I didn't get to see you in your last days. It's okay if I didn't get to see you go home. I know you are still with me in spirit, and I know that you are protecting me and guiding me and helping me make the right decisions as you always have. And I'm not upset at you. I'm not upset at you, Daddy. I'm not. I know that we all make the best decisions that we know how at the time, my babies. None of us are perfect. I've made hella mistakes. You've made hella mistakes. My father has made mistakes. My mother has made mistakes. My grandma has made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's not about the mistakes. It's not about the actual mistakes that you make. Life is about making better decisions, so you don't repeat the same mistakes, and so you don't repeat the same cycles. So I guess what I'm trying to say, my babies, is that yes, my father recently died, and my fake ass family didn't even tell me that my father died, because they had a plan in mind, and their plan was the plot, plan, and scheme on me. They didn't want to tell me that my father died because they knew that my father left me an inheritance, and they didn't want me to get that money because they want me to continue to live a poverty lifestyle. They want me to continue to be stuck in karmic cycles. They want me to never find true love. They just want all negative and toxic and dark things for me, because this is how they feel about themselves. They know that they're trapped and they're stuck. So they trying to make me come down to their low vibrational levels, and I refuse to. I refuse to be on y'all level. Y'all are sick. I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry. The camera died. The water's still in the pot. So they didn't want me to know that my father recently died. They didn't tell me he died. I wasn't invited to the funeral or whatever. They knew.
The water in the pot.
It's in there? Okay. They didn't want me to know that my father left me an inheritance. And the whole plot, plan, and scheme behind this is because they wanted to kill, steal, and destroy me. They stole my money, y'all. They stole my money that my father left me when he passed away recently. I haven't seen a dollar, a nickel, or a penny. And also just know, man, if you see people who they didn't have it, they didn't have it like their whole life, and then all of a sudden you see people driving in new cars, they got a new house, they got new clothes, new phones, their kids got new everything, and they over here looking like they living the high life. They living off my money. Okay? And I know y'all took my money. I'm not stupid. Okay? And but see, the reason why they did this, my babies, is because they never wanted me to find out about my father's death. They never wanted me to find out about my inheritance. And they've been trying to kill me. Every time I leave outside of my apartment complex, I'm being stalked. I'm being gang stalked in the spiritual realm. And because their plan didn't work, because see, I was supposed to have been dead. They had this whole plan that they was going to invite me to a Halloween party. Well, it all started out with my birthday. They was going to invite me to, they was going to throw me like a surprise party for my birthday and then drug me at the party and kill me. But see, that didn't work because I don't fuck with my fake ass family. They're demonic. I would never fuck with y'all ever again a day in my life. So y'all need to get that through your thick noggins. So because that didn't work, the birthday setup, they tried to use Halloween. For Halloween, they was going to throw a Halloween party and set me up, drug me at the party, and kill me. You see, that don't work. Because number one, I don't even celebrate Halloween. And two, I don't go to parties. Number three, I don't drink or smoke. And I damn sure would have never ate no food or had even a sip of water, even if I would have went, because I knew that y'all was plotting on me this whole time. And now, because none of their plans have seemed to work, they're coming up with new plans. They're trying to catch me outside slipping. But see, I'm so on point all the time, watching my surroundings and just being on point, that you're not going to run up on me. You're not going to run up on me. I'm going to see it coming. I'm going to hear you coming. I'm going to feel you coming. If you want to squabble, we can squabble. We can do it. But y'all not going to run up on me from the back. What kind of pussy shit is that? That's pussy as fuck. If you got a problem, you should say it to somebody's face and square up. Don't jump me. Don't do nothing. Because I'm right here. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know where I live because y'all been stalking me. They've been trying to break into my apartment to plant cameras and shit inside my apartment. They're watching me from the next building across, trying to look into my windows and stuff, like when I open like my blinds or whatever to get some fresh air in. They're trying to peep and shit with binoculars to see what's going on with me. They trying to do any and everything because see, they know they fucked up. Not just with me. They fucked up with my grandma. They fucked up with my mother. And now they fucked up with me. And this is all because they're working out of that ugly ego. This is all because y'all are greedy.
Y'all think life is about money, 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 money. But it's not. Life is not just about money. Life is about true happiness, true peace, and true love. And working for your greatest and highest of good. And working for the Almighty God. That's what life is about. But since you work for the devil is using you. The devil is using all of y'all. U, L, U, A, U, C, even U, S, U, R, U, T, U, I, U, J, and your karmic ass, toxic ass family. Y'all think I don't know what's going on? I've been knew what was going on. And see, listen, look y'all, because none of their plans work of like this surprise party, kill Mariah shit. Their whole plan didn't work. Of this surprise party to kill Mariah. Because Mariah is too intelligent. Mariah is too smart. I want Mariah's destiny. Why does God bless Mariah the way that God blesses Mariah and God does not bless me? Do you hear yourself? If I was God, I wouldn't bless you either because you're sick. You're sick. You really think that God does not see all of what we reveal and what we conceal? He knows everything. Your deepest and darkest secrets. Your deepest and darkest desires. Your deepest and darkest fantasies. He knows. So who the fuck are y'all really trying to play? Is it me? Or is it God, my Heavenly Father? Yes. So, because the party scheme didn't work, because I don't fuck with them and I don't go to parties and I don't smoke and I don't drink, so they're trying to find some type of way to swiggle their slimy, snaky ass to set me up, my baby, to take my life. So now the last option that they have is to go through my love life. So y'all know I've been talking to y'all about this Aries guy for the past couple months, and I've been cut him off. Y'all see the videos, y'all see the proof. I don't fuck with him. I don't want to fuck with him, but they've been using him. They have him under black spell magic. They have him. They're trying to use him as my hitman. They're trying to get him to get so close to me so he can kill me. But see, I don't fuck with him, and he knows that because you deceived me. You betrayed me. You went against me, the only real friend, the only real lover you ever had in your life. I gave you a little taste of real love without ever touching you intimately. We never had sex, y'all. But the conversation that I gave him, the peace that I gave him, the unconditional love that I gave him, the happiness and joy that I brought this man just through conversation. This man betrayed me, one of God's children, and turned on me for my sick ass demonic family, and started working with his own sick ass demonic family, all to bring me down, because they are all envious of me. They all are trying to take my spot here on my YouTube platform, here in my life. They're trying to take my destiny because they know that God has blessed me with a life of greatness. And regardless of how many setbacks I've had, regardless of how many trials, tribulations, and struggles I've been through, regardless of any fucking thing that was meant to kill, steal, and destroy me, I've always continued to push through and come out on top. Because I know the type of life that I want to live, and I'm not going to stop until I get it and reach my destination. And even when you reach your destination of achieving your success, goals, and dreams, you still have to keep working hard, my babies, because now it's at a point where you have to work hard to maintain it. Okay, you got there. Now what you're gonna do? Now you have to work to maintain it, or you can lose it as easily as you've been blessed with it. So basically everybody's trying to take me down, my babies. And trust me, I'm divinely protected and provided for, but I need y'all help, my babies. I need to get out of my situation. Y'all already know that they stole my money. They stole my money. They literally chose not to tell me that my father died. I couldn't even see my father on his last dying day. I couldn't even see him on his homegoing. They stole my money. So here I am, still living a poverty lifestyle when that is not the destiny that God had planned for me. God has so much more planned for me. And they know that. So they trying to kill me before I can get to my destiny. So I need y'all help, my babies. I need y'all to, and this is hard for me, okay, because of the people that I've been raised with. Every little thing that anybody has ever done for me in my life, they've always thrown it in my face. They've always made me feel bad for for asking for help and for needing help. And they've always were like Indian givers as well. Like anytime anybody did something for me, they would throw it in my face the next day. Oh, see, you ungrateful. I should have never did this for you. I should have never bought this, blah, 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 blah. You're so ungrateful, your attitude. But no, this was all manipulation. This was all emotional abuse. This was all spiritual abuse, because they've been trying to lower my vibration levels. They know that I naturally operate on a high vibration. So my whole life they've been trying to pull out all their tricks and tips and things. And they've been trying to pull it all on me, because they don't want me to know how truly blessed I am. They don't want me to know that I'm God's child. They don't want me to know that I'm destined for greatness. But see, I figured that out a long time ago. But now this is the hard part right here, my babies. I need y'all help. I need to get out of this place. I need to get out of the projects. I need to get me and my daughter to safety. So please, if you can find it in your heart to help me in any way possible, I need to get out of here, my babies, because they're trying to kill me and my daughter. I need y'all to help me. If you can donate to my Cash App $1, 50 cents, I don't care what it is, $10, whatever y'all can donate to me, but I have to go. And I have to go soon, because I'm not afraid, because I don't operate in fear, but it's just really time for me to go. These people know where I live. They know my apartment door. They're trying to catch me outside slipping. They're trying to drug me. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to shoot me. They're trying to murder me. They're trying to poison me. And this is why, I've had to, isolate myself and my child and stay to myself, you know what I mean? Because these people don't want the best for me. They're haters. They're hypnotized with hatred. And once you get hypnotized with hatred, it's hard to come out of that. Because you see something that you don't have, so you want to take it from the next person. And you don't care in which way or which route you have to do it to get it.
These people already stole my money. I was supposed to have been gone, my babies. I was supposed to have been out the projects. But they don't want, they're trying to keep me in poverty. They don't want me to change my life. And as I said, I am divinely protected and provided for by the Almighty God, but God told me to ask y'all for help. Y'all know I don't never ask y'all for nothing. All I ask for y'all to do is like and subscribe to my channel. But I need y'all help, my babies, because my life, my literal life is depending on it right now. So if you can find it in your heart, and you know, and also God, like, God is trying to get me out of the mindset of the way these people have raised me, because they've always made me feel bad for asking for help and needing help, and you know what I mean, and just not being there for me. So I've always felt like I had to be so big and strong, and I always felt like, you know, I have to be so independent, you know what I mean, and do everything by myself. But that is because they strategically isolated me, because they don't want people to see really who I am. It's literally like the Cinderella story. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters isolated her, put her in the attic, treated her like shit, treated her as a maid, because they knew that her true life was out there somewhere, and it was trying to find her, and people were trying to get in contact with her. But because she was in isolation and she was being mentally and spiritually abused, the people couldn't find her. But see, one day her king found her. Her king found her. Her true love did come and save her, and her whole life changed. Her whole life. Because she was never supposed to live a life of being a maid, of living in poverty, of living so sad and down and out, you know. So whatever y'all can donate to me, my babies, I ask that you please do it with the kindness of your heart. Don't do it out of, don't do it because it's like, oh, I feel bad for her, boo, 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 because you know, I just want y'all to do it from the kindness of your heart. Whatever you can donate out of the kindness of your heart to my Cash App to help me get out of my situation, just know it will be greatly appreciated. And just know that God is gonna bless you for helping me, because I'm God's child, okay? And when he sees that you give from the kindness of your heart, because you know right now it's life or death for me, he's gonna bless you. Keep giving from the kindness of your heart, my babies. Don't give because you see a homeless person on the street and you feel sorry for them. Don't feel sorry. Just if your heart pulls and tells you to give, just do it. I promise you, you're gonna be blessed. Just know how much strength it took for me to even ask y'all for this, because y'all know it's hard for me to ask people for help because of the way that I've been raised. But God is working on me. He's trying to get me out of that mindset of, Mariah, if you need help, ask for help. It's nothing wrong with asking for help. It's nothing wrong with needing help. These people have tried to poison my mind and steal my gifts and stole my money, and now they're trying to take my life, all because of envy and greed. So I don't know So I gotta go edit this video and get it uploaded to the channel for y'all. But I want to say this before I go. To every one of y'all who has something to do with the death of my grandma, the death of my mother, and trying to conspire against me to cause my death, I want you to know that I forgive you. I forgive you with my whole heart. I forgive you. I know that it's not really you that's doing these things. It's not really you. It's the entities that has gotten a hold of you, and you just have not been able to shake these demonic entities off of you and out of you. So you become entrapped in your own soul. So I forgive you. I truly forgive you. And to you, the person that I thought you really loved me, and I thought that you had my back, and I thought that we was making a pact, and I thought that we was gonna ride this shit out for life. I really thought that. And for you, I believe in the beginning that you had good intentions, but somewhere in between you got sucked into the dark coven, and those entities that are within you, they got a hold of you, and they made you change your mind, and they made you change the plan. I just want you to know that I forgive you too. I forgive you with my whole heart. I forgive you. And although we can't be together, you know that, right? We can't. As much as I loved you, and as much as you may think you love me, it's just not right. You know, it wouldn't work out, because we are both operating on two sides of the world, you know. You work for the dark side, and I work for the light. So the dark and the light, even if they were to come together, one would overpower the other. But see, that is too much of a risk for me. I don't want to lose myself in helping you find yourself. It's too big of a risk. So as I told you in the previous content video, I wish and hope nothing but the best for you. You have to let it go. You have to let it go. I know that I was the only person that ever truly gave you some real love, you know. So I know that you're fighting day and night, in and out right now, because you're trying to ask for my forgiveness, and you're trying to better the situation. But it's too toxic right now, and I have to move on with my life. I can't take the risk of losing myself for you. My whole life I've put myself on the back burner for the sake of the next person. And that's how I became so burdened throughout my life. I'm a giver, I'm a lover, I'm a kind-hearted, gentle soul. But at this point in my life, God needs me to put myself first. Because if I don't, I will not be able to love you or anybody else around me with my best, okay? So, my babies, this story was based on my real life. And this story of greed was a very sad, hard, but overcoming, loving, forgiving success story. And I thank you all for watching. If you made it this far in the video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to your girl Riahjay's channel. And for those of y'all that are going to donate to my Cash App is going to be in my description box below. And thank you so much. Thank you so much in advance. And much more content is on the way to the channel, and I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for y'all. This world needs more peace, and it needs more love. It needs more light, my babies, okay? So this is the end of the content video, my babies. I love you all so much. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace and love. Bye.